Good morning. Okay. So without any further introduction, so we are already 5 minutes late according to the time given to me. So okay. नहीं हम मूव भी करेंगे तो दोनों ठीक है. I'll start with a very simple request. Okay. It's as simple as this, and since already most of the previous speakers have told you what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, most of the times I am not going to tell you what you should be doing, should not be doing. I am just going to show you interesting anecdotes, clips, etc. You will figure it out, but I will also prompt. Okay. The simple request is this: may I solicit the immediate prophylactic deactivation of those perennially perturbing pocket-borne electrocommunicative contraptions you carry, lest their untimely sonorous eruptions precipitate a lamentable collapse of our collective cognitive equanimity. Okay. Students, leave my course or stick to my course for this reason, that I start with this thing. I insist, please. I know some of you are admins and then you may be looking for important messages, but please control. And then why should a teacher, instead of simply saying switch off the mobile, should go for this kind of terminology? And like simply the teacher could have said, may I politely request right now preventive switching off, always disturbing, etc., etc., for everyone's mental peace and concentration. So that is what we want to see, how in terms of communication, why we tend to use something that doesn't look so easy, something that is very complicated, and something that can be said very simply, and why don't we prefer it? Just think about this. It's a very famous quote from a Nobel Prize winner, Robert Frost. He says, half the world is filled with people who have something to say and cannot say it, and the other half of people who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. Okay. Then, consider this again from Dostoevsky. He says, much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. There's another Nobel Prize winner, Saul Bellow, who wrote a famous novel saying, more die of heartbreak, with the implication that, and many live longer due to heart-to-heart communication. If you are able to learn heart-to-heart communication, open communication, if you are able to spell out, say the right thing in the right time, in the right way, with all the tonal variations possible, considering the audience around, there will be happiness around everywhere and people will live longer. And as Dostoevsky says, most of the heartbreaks, most of the people die because of the things they were not able to communicate very clearly, and that is why it's very important that we pay attention to it. Okay. And then all of us communicate. The world has shrunk into a global village. You can now connect at the touch of a button. Communication is easy, anytime, anyhow, anywhere, but is it always effective? Think about this, again Mark Twain. He says the difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. It's the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. Most of the times people think like, okay, I'll fill with any words, okay, and what is the point? Like, it's okay as long as I am able to communicate. But Mark Twain says the right word and the way you use it in the right place is also very important. Again, as I said, I am just going on giving you anecdotes, interesting examples. We look at one example, and to understand what is communication and what is effective communication. Knowing the difference between the almost right word and the right word, amounts to being just a communicator and an effective communicator. And people may ask, does it really matter? Look at the following example to understand how one's attempt to create a good impression can actually result in the opposite due to lack of clarity in communication. Okay, so boy wants to impress the girl. He goes and tells her to appear that he is very knowledgeable. He is going to library, reading things and coming. He says, hey, do you know that your father's genes can give you diabetes? Girls didn't get what he said because she is in a different receiving zone, and obviously you know that he is referring to the DNA, and she thought that it's referring to the genes, and then she said stupid. She thought he is an idiot. I don't wear my father's genes, so how would I get diabetes? Okay. So sometimes you use the same word, pronunciation has created a problem here. Communication is a complex interactive process. So if you look at this, it's a just a meme. A teacher wanted one small girl to tell the audience about a flower. So it's about 10 petals. Okay, the closest, if you see, is the one that so it's this octopus, that is the closest. Okay, and then people can even conceive of something like an aeroplane. What does it mean? Communication involves shared assumptions and unspoken agreement between individuals. So frequent errors and misunderstandings are quite possible, and we have to give contingency to that as teachers. Okay. Another interesting example, why the sender receiver communication is very important. Once a teacher went to the class and he wanted to tell the students the significance of not taking liquor. So he took a bottle full of liquor, 1 liter, and it was written as liquor, and he had picked some earthworms, okay, very alive, and then he started dropping one by one into that, and then he asked the students, did you get the message? What is this? They said, sir, it's liquor. And what is this? Earthworm. And when he drops, they wriggle and then they die. They were saying, oh, like that, and they were showing, oh, it's so bad, like that. And then he asked, have you got the message? So everyone said, yes, sir, yes, sir. And one guy in the last bench said, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he said, like, why not you share it with the whole class? He said, sir, if we take liquor, it will kill all the worms in our stomach. So, sir, I think we should be taking 3 times. Why 3 times? All the 3 times we take food, and if we take liquor, it will kill all the worms and keep our stomach clean for the next day, sir. I think we should be taking this regularly. So the teacher wanted to say something completely opposite, but the student took it completely differently. So that's why again George Bernard Shaw says, like, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Most of the times we go to the class, we teach and come out with the utmost satisfaction that we taught everything 100% and everything is clear. There is a possibility 503 students have got 504 meanings of what we taught actually. Okay. So let's look at this, and it's an illustrative one. He is just saying how to ride a scooter. Slight distortion in message, but still going on. Message is distorted by this time.
बुझ्नु पर्ने होइन हलमा थपिदिनु उता उता कता उता है एकदम घाँटी घुमेको ल बोलाउनु न ल पुरा हेर्नु टाउको हल्ला चाहिँ किताब है त्यो हल्ला हेर्नु हल्ला उता फर्किनु तपाईँ उता फर्किनु तपाईँ उता फर्किनु उहाँलाई देखाउनु पऱ्यो नि त ल उता यता हेर्नु पाएँ उता ल उता 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 फर्किनु उता फर्किनु उता फर्किनु यो त झन् अब ल कसले गल्ती गर्यो के मेसेज दियो कोचेर चाहिँ तर मेसेज चाहिँ के पुगेछ अन्तमा भनेर हेर्नु ल अन्तमा मेसेज के पुग्यो देखाउनुहोस् त अन्तमा मेसेज
The instructor is obviously teaching them even how non-verbal communication can become ineffective in situations like this, especially when there are more transfer points. We have to be very sure as how the feedback is going. Effective communication is your ability to cause the intended and desired response. It's your ability to influence people, their ideas and thought patterns which govern their actions. Effective communication will give you sustained success in all walks of life. And then if you ask the question, what is the topmost life skill or communication skill, or what is the topmost skill? And so far we were given some inputs. People may say, like, if there are certain personality traits, like someone is very cheerful, very enthusiastic, someone is very proactive in communication, someone is communicative, very effective, articulate, confident, humorous pointed out, responds promptly to any queries. Now the question is, are they enough to get a job and or to maintain a good rapport with your colleagues or with the students? Again we will watch a video, and this time I want you to tell me one answer. You have to tell me what is that skill the candidate is lacking.
Congratulations!
What?
This is your reception. When did you get married?
I am not getting married. This is the front desk. What do you want?
I'm looking for a job. I read in the newspaper that there is an interview being held.
Yes. Take a right and go to the third room on the left.
Thank you. Congratulations once again, huh?
Next. Please take a seat. What are you doing?
Taking the seat, sir. You're sitting on a chair. Are you the chairman?
Just sit on a chair. What will you have?
A job?
I meant tea or coffee. Forget it. What is your name?
It's Supandi.
Good. And Supandi, are you single?
Yes, yes. But the lady outside is married. She has a reception.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies? Do you play sports or games?
I love playing games. One game I like is hide and seek. 1, 2, 3. Not my den.
What is wrong with you? I don't want to play the game right now. Come back here.
Sorry.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Sir, I see myself being 5 years older.
Do you think this is a joke?
No, sir. This is an interview. This is a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
What is wrong with you? How do you expect this interview to work out?
Sir, I have to work out in an interview? I didn't know. Otherwise, I would have got my gym clothes.
Out!
Huh? Who got out? Is there a cricket match?
Please, please leave. The passport just got taken. We don't have a vacancy.
You gave me the last spot? So kind of you, sir. I will join from tomorrow. Everyone, go home. I got the last opening.
You fool! Leave this office before I call the police!
Oh, we are playing chore police. 1, 2, 3, not my den.
Okay. Obviously, you knew that he didn't get selected, but despite the fact that whatever we prize as communication skills, he possessed all of them. But what was that one thing that he was lacking? I mean, common sense would go if you are listening, and I would also say, like, he was still listening, and like, can we slightly add an adjective to the kind of listening that you are implying? Yes? Yes? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So why didn't he catch the meaning? Yes. Okay. 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 Why is he missing the contextualization? Because I am going to talk about active listening. He is missing so-called active listening. We also call that as empathetic listening. When you are actively listening, when you are empathetically listening, you don't just hear. Most of the times he is hearing actually. I also said listening, but actually he is hearing. He is hearing what the other person says, but listening is not just paying attention to the other person's words, like what he does, but also to the tone and facial expressions and body language. So, hearing is just physical, like even when you sit here, you may listen to birds chirping outside, etc. That's actually hearing, which is physical. But when we say listening, so it is a mental activity, and there are communication theorists who say, like, when you listen to something over a period of time, like today entire day, if you seriously listen, you will be expending energy like a jogger, okay, and you will have the fatigue as if you have ran for 6 kilometers or so if you have actively listened, because it's consuming your energy also. So, hearing is physical, listening is mental, but apart from hearing, it involves reception, selection. You also select and decide what is the right information, and you organize, assimilate, interpret, evaluate, and then you respond. So, he was not interpreting, he was not evaluating, he was not even paying attention. So that was the problem. Effective listening is possible only when the people involved are fully present, attentive and responsive with their preoccupations, distractions completely sorted out. So, this is something that we need to bring it in the classroom, make our audience first of all the students effective listeners. There is a famous quote from Robert Schuller. He says like, why effective listening is important. He says the mind is like a parachute, it functions only when it is open. So, if you do not create the receptivity, if you do not keep them that openness and keep them in the effective communication loop, their mind is not going to be activated. We will have a quick listening test. Is your mind open at this moment? If so, listen to me carefully and then respond. Some of you may be knowing this because one or two I have taken from my soft skills course. If so, I could see some of you have done it. So, keep quiet, let others respond to it. Okay. Students at the University of California were asked by Mr. Agnew of the Department of Medical History for the reaction to the following. Listen to that and you have to give a judgment. The father has syphilis, the mother tuberculosis. They have had 4 children, the first blind, the second died, the third was deaf and dumb, the fourth had tuberculosis, the mother is pregnant with her 5th child. The parents are willing to have an abortion. You have to make the decision. Abortion yes or abortion no? That is the decision. Quick response. Yes. Gents. You are saying go for abortion. Yes. Okay. Others. Let us say how many feel like they should go for abortion? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. The number is increasing. That in fact was what the professor was also expecting, and he said like when the most of the students voted in favor of abortion, he said congratulations, you have just murdered Beethoven. The deaf musical composer and a child prodigy who gave the first public performance as a pianist when he was 8 years old. Because there were enough bias to form a conclusion that you and the parents are also willing. So, you will obviously say, yeah, why not we go for it. Okay. So, we will go for one more quick test. Before that, the lesson is listen without prejudice, keep the mind open. And how to be open, how to become this active listener, understand that knowledge is power, knowing clearly saves lot of time and saves things from damage. When you say something clearly and when someone listens to you clearly, miscommunication has less chance. Acting listening is the key in successful personal and professional relationships. Mind you, it is the quality of your relationships that determines the level of your success. Many relationships thrive because there is one person who is listening actively. Okay. AL has a great impact on your job effectiveness. It will help you avoid miscommunication and conflicts, increases productivity, improves persuasive and negotiation skills. Now, the second test, again checking whether your mind is open at this moment. Listen to me carefully and then respond. Again, this is a narrative. Evaluate the message. Our leader had an unhappy childhood and little formal education. His father bitterly opposed his ambition to become an artist. Through self-education, he became the author of a book that became a national bestseller. Obstacles do not discourage him. When others say it's impossible, he hurdles each barrier as it comes. He has built an active youth movement of selected young people. He is known throughout the world for his dynamic speeches. His closest associates say of him, he accomplishes incredible deeds out of the passion of his will in order to create the kind of government he believes in. Possible leader? Okay. So, at least proper evaluation, but if you see the way it is written, so it is written by a fan of Hitler, and he wanted to emulate the leader, and he wrote in such a manner that it's only the positive thing about Hitler, nothing negative. And sometimes I removed he and then somebody said Mother Teresa, somebody said Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. So, you jump into the conclusion that the person could be so saintly the way you are coloring your adjectives. Okay. Then, this was just shown to tell you that you should avoid positive bias, positive influence, and the general message then is speak in such a way that others love to listen to you, and listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. What is active listening? Active listening is whole body listening. Okay. So, the person is full of eyes and ears, eyes and ears. Eyes are focused on the person talking, and look for body language to correlate with verbal meaning. Any slight change in loss of eye contact, any movement, anything the eye is watching, ear is listening to any slight disturbance, and then brain is receptive and reflects on what is being said, mouth is shut. That is the most important active listening quality. Hands and feet are still, they do not distract. Heart feels compassionate, another important active listening quality. The whole body is naturally inclined toward the speaker to show interest and empathy. Body language, they say like whenever you slightly lean towards the opposite person, you show empathy, concern. The speaker gets a feeling that she is given a careful, thoughtful attention and consideration. Okay. But in a light-hearted way, remember, you hear always what they really want to hear. People hear that. Unless and until you make a conscious choice of becoming an active listener. Look at this meme. What wives say: go to the store, lay down the mulch, wash and wax the car, get the kids at school, rent some videos and finish the rest of the dishes. What husbands hear: go, lay down and get some rest. Okay. So, you always hear what you want to hear unless you remove that filters. Okay. The other thing is about the perceptual error. Do you see what you really see, and acknowledge the perceptual difference? We always do not see what is there and give contingency to the other's viewpoint. Do you see rabbit or duck? I am sure like some of you are going to say rabbit, some of you are going to say duck, but both are there in the picture. Similarly, do you see an old woman or a young miss? Both of them are there. There are other perceptual pictures with multiple images, testing which one you see and then psychologically analyzing where you are. But just to tell you, like when you see something so bright and beautiful, somebody may see completely the opposite. So, we have to give contingency to that fact. There is an interesting anecdote from Stephen Covey, the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he says in the introduction why he wrote the book. And then there was an incident that happened when he was traveling in a New York subway car. In that car, normally people are very quiet, they are returning from jobs, so they are very calm, quiet, and they are tired, they are sleeping, or they are reading newspaper, books, and then nobody disturbs anyone, it is just silence. Enter a man, and then he is with 3 kids, 1 girl and 1 boy and 1 small girl, and they just come, they make lot of noise, they move here and there. Somebody was reading a newspaper, the girl goes, they play hide and seek. Everyone is annoyed, and it's like foreign country, you know, people get irritated so quickly. And Stephen Covey was sitting next to the man, and he was also annoyed, and he thought like, why is he keeping quiet? And first he thought he'll shout at the children, and then everyone was thinking the father will say something, he'll shout at the children, and the father was looking at them and is completely lost. And before like Stephen Covey would ask him, why don't you shout at your children, he just thought like, maybe I ask him, why is he not shouting? Okay. And then he asked like, don't you see that children are disturbing? He said, oh sorry, I am really sorry, like, oh, do you want me to stop them? Then he said like, no, I just want to know why you are just keeping quiet. So then he said like, oh, that's because just now we are returning from the funeral of their young mother, just 33 years old, she got killed in an accident. Everything was done by her, breakfast, homework, everything was done by her at home, and I have never taken care of the kids, and they have always asked me to take them in this subway car, I never took them. Okay, we are returning from the funeral ceremony and they are now in this, they have just forgotten it and they are just enjoying this thing like anything because I never brought them. They are playing, but I am just thinking about what will happen when I reach home and will they continue to be like this. And I am thinking that this may be the few moments they are laughing and enjoying, and once we go home the emptiness is going to hit us. Stephen Covey was speechless, and then he said like, he just patted and said like implying just leave it, let others get irritated. Later Stephen Covey thinks about the incident and then he asks like, what changed in me? I was about to shout at the children, I was about to get angry with the person, but what is that changed in me? And then he says that point in which I realized empathy is important, and then he creates his most famous habit. He says, seek first to understand and then to be understood. All the time people say like, people don't understand me, students don't get what I say, what can I do about it? But seek first to understand and then to be understood, and again don't be guided by prejudice. There's another interesting thing. Viktor Frankl, the famous author of Man's Search for Meaning, was famous for logotherapy, was in concentration camp, lost his all mother, siblings, etc. He came out and wrote this famous book, Man's Search for Meaning. He says this incident, okay, just to tell us something that I am telling you before. See, he once told about this story of a woman who called him in the middle of the night to calmly inform him she was about to commit suicide. Somebody calling at 10:30, 11 and saying, hey, I am going to commit suicide, and he is the author. So, but she is a fan of him, so she wanted to tell him, say goodbye and then commit suicide. Frankl kept her on the phone and talked her through her depression, giving her reason after reason to carry on living. Like I am giving you stories, he gave lot of stories. He gave anecdotes from his novel, from his experience. Finally, she promised she would not take her life, and she kept her word. When they later met, like they met in a book club a week later, he was so curious whether she committed suicide or not, and he wanted to see her so badly, and he saw her and he was so happy. He asked her which reason had persuaded her to live. Okay, she said none of them. So he entire night he was talking and he thought some quote, some incident. She said none of them. What then influenced her to go on living? He pressed. Her answer was simple. It was Frankl's willingness to listen to her in the middle of the night. There was someone to talk to. A world in which there was someone ready to listen to another's pain seemed to her a world in which it was worthwhile to live. She thought like there may be others who may listen to me and they will reduce my sorrow. Often it is not the brilliant argument that makes a difference. The content was not really important to her. Sometimes the small act of listening is the greatest gift we can give. Okay. But at the same time, don't overdo things. And then another important thing for a teacher is don't stress yourself, don't overthink, don't overdo, leave something to students also, and don't stress others, because as it was said, if you are enthusiastic, student will get the enthusiasm. Robert Frost says like no tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. That means if you don't feel compassionate, your students will not feel compassionate, and if you are stressed, it will see directly on your face. Everyone will feel the stress that you are taking it to that. So as you know, like I don't have to tell so much about the effects and all that, because all of you know how it would affect. Sufficient to say like most of the stress related diseases are all emotional, like BP, thyroid and diabetes. It comes to you like buy one get two free. Okay, and just control your emotion, you are out of it completely. And then Hans Selin says it's not stress that kills us, it is our reaction to it. The major cause of stress is the inability of people to discover the real nature, discover your gifts, follow them, and you will never feel stressed. Okay. This is an incident told by Sundar Pichai when he was in a grand party. It was a very posh hotel and celebrities were there, and there was a birthday party going on. Huge birthday cake was there, and a very celebrity was standing, and a cockroach went and sat on her shoulder. So she got panicked, she shouted, and then she felt very repulsive. She ran helter skelter, she threw the birthday cake. It was a mess. Everyone was shouting cockroach, cockroach. No one knew where it went. Entire party got completely destroyed, and everyone was shouting, where is this? And the cockroach flew and sat on the shoulder of a waiter. Just looked at it. He was wearing gloves. He just took it. He went to the washroom, put it, washed it, and came and stood there. This was incredible to Sundar Pichai, because the same cockroach sat on that lady and she completely demolished the entire party, and this guy just, he moved as if nothing happened, and then he realized that it's not what is coming to you through the circumstance, but it is how you react to it, and that is causing you stress. Okay. When you are in stress, remember, whatever you choose to focus on will grow. If it is love, worry, self-doubt, guilt, anxiety, it will grow. Again, I don't want to spend most time here, but quick tips: personal health habits, keeping fit is very important. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours, same time. Getting some vitamin D in the morning, 45 minutes, yoga or meditation, eating healthy food, mindfulness, like they say, even when you drink tea, just be mindful of doing that. Plan the work and work the plan. One good thing we do, whether people like it or not in IITK, give that FCH. In the first course handout, you spell out everything. My first course handout is about 10 pages. Any time, last day, last minute, when they ask, I say, just go to the FCH, it's written everywhere. And then take break from your work also. Use your LTC. There was a senior faculty I asked, like, for 10 years he has never used this leave traveling concession. That was really amazing and so committed. I said, like, you have to use it, at least for your family you should use it. You can also relieve the stress by making use of your 5 senses, like touch with your pets, smelling, eating your favorite food, that's also helpful. Some people do quick remedy by going for shower, hot or cold, talking to a friend, very good friend, reading a good book, walking in a natural setting, watching your favorite movie. Watch 3 Idiots once again, like when you are so stressed in class, going to a temple, shopping in a mall, eating your favorite food, and overall laughing. But why I insist on this? Because stress management is life management. As a teacher, it's very, very important. Students should feel like you are calm and collected, and they can come and talk to you about their stress, their problem, and they should not perceive any stress in you. And when I say this for a teacher, don't stress till stress stresses you. Okay, small clip.
Plebea con la papaya.
So this is real overthinking, overstressing, and chasing stress when stress doesn't come to you at all. Okay. You can also use conflict resolution skills, and which most of you have. Like, we resolve the conflict when it is just like cycle tire puncture, car tire puncture, but when it is a situation where the car tire gets punctured when you have just few minutes to catch the flight and there is an emergency call home, then the conflict and the stress increases. Again, I am just going to show you, there is no point in rising your BP when it is a stressful situation. You need to think, develop this so-called emotional intelligence, and realize that peace comes not from the absence of conflicts, but from the ability to cope up with it. So, one more quick video, and it won a international award also. It's worth watching. It's also a question whether he is an active listener or not. So he is visually challenged. So, the video teaches so many things. 1 hour lecture can be given on this. First of all, obviously, he is a very active listener. He uses presence of mind, and then he loves the pet, the fish here. It also gives a very important communication signal to teacher-student relationship, like when we have this Gurukul changed by Google, and when they can get everything through Google or Meta AI or whatever AIs are there, why should they come to classroom? So, one thing he is saying is create that conducive environment, and then they will come like the fish, it will come and touch your fingers. Okay. The most important spiritual growth does not happen when you are meditating or on a yoga mat. It happens in the midst of conflict. That is why we need conflicts actually, and the resolution takes us from one level to another level of self actualization. When you are frustrated, angry or scared and you are doing the same old thing, and then you suddenly realize that you have a choice to do it differently, and then you do it differently, and then it will change you. Again, related to conflict resolution, most of the times most people are in this destructive side, but we should learn to move to the constructive side. We should disagree about ideas, approaches even with the student. Okay, like the first example that was shown, both students are right in terms of their approach, answer, but we need to teach them like how they should be able to make it agreeable. It should be issue focused, not people focused. Respects differences, tries to resolve without hurting personal sentiments. Constructive and ensures group performance and cohesion. Characteristic of high performers, always go for win-win approach, never win-lose approach, never lose-lose approach. Okay. It involves negotiation. So, once you go and management, they say once you go and bring the other party to the table, half of the conflict is resolved. Mediation and looking at both sides, it is a very important thing. Most of the times we are bogged down in one thinking, but taking the other view and developing a win-win attitude. As shown here, one can argue till eternity that it is 6 and the other person will say it is 9. Okay. Lot of problems in the world would disappear if we talk to each other instead of about each other. Be open and direct in communication. And then coming to the major question, who is the real teacher? Soren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, says like to be a teacher in the right sense is to be a learner. I am not a teacher, only a fellow student. Okay. Once we have this attitude, we will develop the student centric way of teaching and listen to the story of a stupid boy. A small boy came home from school with a note, Mom, my teacher gave this paper to me and told me only you are to read it. What does it say? Her eyes welted with tears as she read out loud. Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and doesn't have good enough teachers to train him. please teach him yourself. The boy grew up to become Thomas Alva Edison. After his mother died, Edison found the letter his mother read that day. Your son is mentally deficient. We cannot let him attend our school anymore. He is expelled. Deeply moved, Edison wrote in his diary, Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally deficient child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century. The lesson, the moral, when a teacher shows motherly care, love, concern and nurture her children, even the dullest can grow to become the genius of the century. We need to nurture growth mindset, and we need to nurture that in our students also. I don't have to tell you what is growth mindset, but I'll give you one example of a growth mindset situation where the famous author who popularized this book, Carol Dweck, her PhD thesis. So, she insists that people normally think in fixed mindset that it's DNA that gives them good marks, it's in the DNA that they don't like physics, it's in the DNA that they are painters, etc. But in the growth mindset philosophy concept, they believe that abilities can be developed through hard work, good strategies and mentorship, and they can all contribute to outstanding achievements. So, we will give, let's look at one small anecdote about good strategies. So, you all know this story, this rabbit and turtle. So, they had this race, and then rabbit took rest in the middle, and then the turtle walked, and then it won the race, and we say like slow and steady wins the race, right. Now, if the rabbit thought, despite my best abilities, I was not able to run, so let me commit suicide. That is fixed mindset. So, instead of that, rabbit thinks like, what should I do? What was my limitation? So, how can I improve this situation? So, the rabbit thinks like, I only slept off and I will not do. I am a good runner. And next time they did, they ran, they went for the match again, and this time the rabbit won. And the moral, fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. Okay. And then should the turtle commit suicide now, thinking that, oh, I lost, I will not be able to run as fast as this? No. Growth mindset says like, identify your core competence. Okay. The turtle knows it has a core competence. The turtle went and said, rabbit, we will have another match, but this time I will decide the venue, I will decide the route. Okay. Rabbit said, I am okay, whatever route you do, I will be able to win. So, the route was decided, and when they reached a path, there was a small river in between. The rabbit ran very quickly to cross that. From the other side, there was a small bridge, it was running towards that, and whereas the turtle just went inside, it swam and then crossed the other side, and then it won the race. So, the message again, identify your core competency, change the playing field to suit it, and you will win. Okay. Now, what is the lesson for teachers here, apart from teaching this to the students? What they decided we too have ultimate core competencies, and then let us become a team. Okay. And then they challenged other animals. They said like, we will decide the route, and then you have to win us. 2 people can come, 3 people can come. So, they always chose a route where there is water, and then there is this long route. So, rabbit will carry the turtle for some time, and then the turtle will carry the rabbit when there is water. So, together they became unbeatable combination, compete against the situation, not against a rival. Pooling resources and working as a team will always beat individual performers. Okay. Focus on deep learning, that is in the title we say as deep teaching, which I want you to do, but deep learning, stay indistractable, strive to bring out the best version of you. When your competition is becoming a better you will always win the game. So, do not think about, oh, somebody published, somebody got a project, focus on you, okay, and mind your own business. Simple thing as why you should mind your own business. So, focus on your work, mind your own business, and ask the question, is teaching giving you job satisfaction or job dissatisfaction? And is teaching your occupation just giving you salary, or occasion just for fun, or vacation, or vocation, or mission? So, your answer will depend on what makes you from normal monotonous boring teacher to an topmost excellent one. And another question you should think about is, can the removal of dissatisfying factors give you job satisfaction and job security? Obviously no, and we can discuss this in the question answer or during lunch break. There's a famous book by Kopmeyer, How to Get Whatever You Want in Your Life, and he gives one important message. He says, like, your only job security is your indispensability. Any skill that you take, hard skill and also today's soft skill, so become indispensable in that area. Otherwise there is nothing like a government job, safe job, secure job. You will see people who are there for 20 years being thrown out for certain reasons. Okay, nothing, even if a contract is signed, one can lose the job if one is not indispensable. Okay, having said that, indispensability plus one more content can really make you the super indispensable. And this is a video. I am concluding. Professor Harbola has already given me the warning signal. Last concluding one. It's not your aptitude, but your attitude that will determine your altitude. So. It's about empathy again. I don't want to conclude in a very serious note. We should realize that it's all in the matter of perspective and how you see things, and always take the colorful, optimistic perspective. Look at this meme. He says, an old man had 8 hair on his head. He went to the barber shop. Barber in anger asked, shall I cut or count? Old man smiled and said, color it. Life is to enjoy with whatever you have with you. Okay. And then the final question, journey or destination. So there was a question that was asked, which is more important? And this meme beautifully answers, which is more important, asked Big Panda, the journey or the destination, the company, said Tiny Dragon. IITK, apart from the teaching, gives you wonderful relationship, friendships across the departments, like across the disciplines. So enjoy, cherish the company that you have, which you are not going to get in other places, and develop soft skills, because they are people skills, and if you develop good soft skills, you will have good company. And as Sartre says, if you do not have good, the others will actually become hell to you. Before you go to the class, my final thing, just be happy for no reason, don't carry any stress or anything, and if you really get into that habit, you will glow differently when you are actually happy. And instead of thinking that class is a stressful place, so you will go to class for relieving your stress. The class concluding slide from Maya Angelou, she says, I have learnt that no matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life does go on and it will be better tomorrow. I have learnt that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I have learnt that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I have learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. I have learned that I still have to learn a lot. I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget you how you made them feel. So make your students feel good. Would there be a student who will come to you after 5 years and look for you as the teacher, whom the student wants to just say hello, hi, how are you? Okay. Time for discussion, and then thank you so much for your patience. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have time for a question.
Any quick questions?
Okay.
Question. That empathy versus that mind your own business thing. Sometimes when you become kind, like you become too kind and get used, and
So I would
you
say
miss that thing.
I would say empathy is my major business.
Okay.
I would mind it, yes. Because as a teacher, empathy is the most important thing for you. So sometimes asking a student, why were you feeling bit dejected in the class, or why were you not listening, so tells you so many things instead of running after the class. So like I sometimes when you ask a student, why were you sleeping in my class, they say like, I have a chronic ailment and I am taking antibiotics and night I don't get sleep, and then I am trying to focus but I cannot but sleep. So you then your thinking will change like Stephen Covey, like you wanted to shout or penalize but you sympathize with the student.
And same would apply to communication with your colleagues, like showing empathy or kindness.
Definitely. Only thing I would say, like there is one danger in being empathetic is we get off of the trouble from them, and then it hangs, that hangover is there, so that's very difficult to filter. That is one. And second thing is like there may be colleagues who will be exploiting your empathy. Okay. But in my case, like I had very bad experiences, doesn't matter, but we all learn from that. So you, out of 10 people, one might exploit you, okay, that doesn't matter, but the other 9 found you very useful, so that's more important.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.